Yo, what's up, internet? So, it's been a while since I've done a Raiders video, but the problem is the Raiders have had one signing so far in free agency, and that's right tackle Marshall Newhouse. There's not much to say about him. He's probably a depth/backup tackle who will compete with Austin Howard and Vidal Alexander for the starting job. He's just a depth signing, and that's all the signing we have. Now that it's past the initial big wave of big money free agency, I think it's time for the Raiders to start signing players. I don't think we're going to get a big name like Dont'a Hightower, but I think we can sign some smaller players like Jonathan Hankins at defensive tackle, Zach Brown at middle linebacker, and maybe Jared Cook at tight end. Since the big wave of free agency is over, I think we can sign these guys to short-term or reasonable contracts. In Latavius Murray news, he is going to be visiting the Jacksonville Jaguars on Monday and Seattle Seahawks on Tuesday. My personal gut feeling is that he will sign with the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's because it's close to his hometown of Central Florida, and the Jaguars will overpay him to make him not leave, like they do with all free agents. With that being said, let's go over the players the Raiders have lost in free agency. First up, we have linebacker Malcolm Smith, who signed a 5-year, $26.5 million deal with $11.5 million guaranteed with the San Francisco 49ers. Smith has been a coverage liability as a linebacker since the Titans have been going all over the field on us. He's been very replaceable, and there was no way we were going to match that money. We were looking to replace him anyway, so him leaving is not a big deal at all. Menelik Watson chose to sign with the Broncos in a 3-year, $18.5 million deal with $11.5 million guaranteed. I was hoping the Raiders would bring him back in a low-cost, high-reward type contract, but he obviously chose to sign with the Broncos. Now, Menelik Watson has played well when he's healthy. The problem is he hasn't really been healthy. He's won the right tackle job multiple times, but keeps losing it to injury. I think a fresh start would be best for Menelik Watson since he doesn't have the expectations of being a second-round pick. I just wish it wasn't with the Broncos. The biggest surprise was the Redskins signing Stacy McGee in a 5-year, $25 million deal with $9 million guaranteed. That is a lot of money for good production. He was our best interior pass rusher last year, but that's not saying much. He was not worth that kind of money. Even with him resigned, the Raiders would have needed an upgrade at defensive tackle. I personally wanted him back in a short-term, maybe 1-year deal, but you can't blame a guy for going for a big payday. In news that isn't surprising to Raider Nation, DJ Hayden leaves us to sign with the Lions in a 1-year, $5.25 million deal. He was always in good position as a corner, but would always panic and have a holding penalty or a pass interference. I think him leaving is probably best since there isn't that expectation of him being a first-round draft pick. I think we'll be fine with cornerbacks with Carey in the slot and Anderson and Smith on the outside next year. The Titans signed our special team aces in Darren Bates in a 3-year, $6 million contract and Brandon Trawick in a 2-year, $6.25 million contract. These guys were minimum contract players, but were very, very good on special teams. I don't think they're going to be too hard to replace, but I am kind of bummed that Trawick left because he did show up in that playoff loss when both Allen and Joseph went down. Nate Allen signed a 1-year, $3.4 million deal with the Miami Dolphins. Allen was decent when he did play, and I wish we brought him back on a similar type deal. The starters next season are going to be Carl Joseph and Reggie Nelson at safety. It made sense for him to sign with the Dolphins since he has a chance to start over there. It's not a huge loss since re-signing him would have been a depth signing. As you can tell, the Raiders lost a lot of players, but none of them were really back-breaking franchise players. That speaks volumes to our team in that we still have a very talented team even with all these players leaving.
Yeah.